So to round out Lei's moveset, let's talk about his rush combos. They're fairly unique to him. Nobody else has anything that's really like this. They are 4 or 5 hit long strings with variations in them that kind of all just go unfettered. They're not going to be natural combos, but he has mix-ups in them and stance transitions and stuff like that. So they all kind of work the same way, and they tie the whole puzzle together because some of the other stances can lead to these things. So the first one to look at is called the beating kick, which is these 3 right here. They all start the same, forward 4, 2-1-2, and then the ender is either a 3 kick for a low or a 4 kick for a mid, and the option to transition into crane. I mentioned forward 4 earlier as a counter hit launcher by itself, but forward 4 is the beginning of the beating kick. So if you didn't get your counter hit, you can still go into the rest of the combo and go for a mix-up at the end of it. It'll look like this. There's the low. As you can see, he blocks the whole thing. It's a mix-up at the end. You have to kind of take a guess. And there's the mid, and if you hold up or down, he'll transition into crane. So if they guess correctly at the end of this, the only thing, when they recognize beating kick, is this. They know the 3 punches are the same. And if you finish the string, you're either going to finish it with a low or a mid kick. And if they guess right, they're going to punish you pretty bad for it. It's really kind of unnecessary to take the risk for it. You can sort of just do that and stop and, you know, keep them guessing. I think is a little bit more productive in this case. Given that's the only option there is that low mid at the end of it, right? So it's a mix-up and you'll get damage, but I think you'll take more damage in the long run by them guessing you correctly. The next rush combo is called Razor Rush, and it's this whole sequence here. But if you just look at these last 3 entries right here, you see the same thing. A 3 kick is a low, 4 kick is a mid, with the option to go into crane. So that whole thing looks like this. There's the low. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, and into crane. The difference with this one is if you stop and press up or down, instead of just after the kick at the end, after any of the hits, you'll transition into a different stance. If you just do the first hit, you'll go into snake. If you do the second hit, you'll go into dragon, etc. It does not matter which way you go, up or down. For any move that transitions into a stance by up or down, they'll always be the same. You won't go the wrong way. So you go all the way, you get tiger, etc. from that. Now all these have that built-in sidestep. If your opponent is ready for it, they'll catch you. If you go all the way to tiger, they're going to be like, okay, I'm just going to hit him as soon as he flinches, and they'll kick you for it. Whereas if you are kind of quick about it, like just 2 hits and then go, you'll keep them guessing a lot more. So Razor Rush is unique. You can just use this to start offense a lot until your opponent gets keen on your timing and what you're going to do out of it. It's pretty effective at just getting yourself into a stance real quick. And if they did get counter hit, they'll take a couple of these hits before you can transition out of it. The next rush combo is called Defense Breaker. Let me set the opponent to guard, and you'll see what it does. It's basically just a guard break without any real damage after. He does this, which leaves him back turned and kind of pushes them away, and it just sort of resets to neutral. That's kind of all it does. It's not like super practical, but that's, you know what I mean. If they're going to be blocking, you can do that, and it'll force them into not being able to backdash at you or whatever. You go back to a neutral state where you are back turned. So that's a bit of a unique usage to that one, but it's there. Spinning Lotus Kick is also still in here because it used to end with the same extension. A 3 kick for a low and a 4 kick into a mid. They got rid of that now. So Spinning Lotus Kick by itself is only this, and he goes back turned. He used to do this kick and then take a step towards you and deliver the final hit. They took that away from the neutral version of it, but they added it in, or they left it intact for the other rush combo. So this is a screw attack by itself, just forward neutral 3 into back turned. The remaining rush combo now is Wolf Strike. This one has several options into it that make it look simpler than it is right here. But you can see this ending right here, mid kick, low kick. That 3 is the 3 that I just showed you. That's the Spinning Lotus Kick. He does that big sweeping kick, which he backdashes, and then he moves in on you where he can go either mid or low. But in this case, it's either 4 or down 4 to do the low. So those last 2 hits off of this and the last 2 hits off of this used to be this Razor Rush. They just took them away from the normal version of it, but left them at the end of the Wolf Strike combo. So the Wolf Strike combo itself, you're going to see a lot as just the first 2 hits. Forward neutral, 4-1. Because this lets you hold forward to go into Tiger. You're going to see that in combos. Once you still on guard. See it in combos like this. The Tiger 2-2 is a screw attack. So forward neutral 4-1 is a good option into Tiger. 4-1-2 is just the second jab. There's nothing fancy there. But the options from there are where it gets interesting. It shows you in the move list 2-2. Right here. 2 more follow-up 2 strikes. But what those 2 strikes are actually this. The second and third hit of that. So the whole wolf strike looks like this. The mid one, and then the second one, and the third one out of the snake string. And they will have the same properties. You can go into dragon or snake from either one. Like that, by holding forward. Or dragon or panther, excuse me. The mid one goes into dragon, and if you follow up with the low, it's a little trickier in this case. Because there's not 3 hits to lead them up to it. They may not realize that's what's coming till a little bit later. But if you hit him with that low, you can transition that into panther. So forward neutral 4-1-2. Has the additional extensions from the snake stance 2, as well as the spinning lotus kick. The old version of spinning lotus kick, which kind of looks like this. And there's that mid kick. He hesitates and he steps back in with the mid kick. Or the low kick, like that. So those two, those last 2 hits. That 3 and that 4. That used to be the spinning lotus kick. They just took those away for whatever reason. Now spinning lotus kick by itself is just a knockdown and back turned. But that's the original version of them for those who remember. The end of the wolf strike, that's the old spinning lotus kick, is right there. So that's pretty much it for rush combos. And the reason why I say that it ties the whole puzzle together is because some of these are accessible from your other stances. The wolf strike you can get from dragon stance 4. Yeah, it's Dragon 4, right? Yeah, just like that. Same options as it is in any other form. And the beating kick you get from Panther 4. Like that. So that's kind of wanted to save those for last. As I mentioned during the stance section, most stances either have like the 2 kicks. One's a low, the other's like a rush combo. So that's where a lot of these come from. Those rush combos are the last missing piece, so to speak, of everything else. So the wolf strike is all in all pretty good. Forward neutral 1-2, as well as the 1-2-1-2 sequence. Pretty good. Gets you access to all your stances, and if you get a counter hit, you'll heap on some damage first. The only trick is learning how to do the forward neutral, that little shimmy step. If you just tap forward and let it go, he has to take that step first before you begin your attack. If you do it too quickly, you're just going to get a standing kick. You have to let him take that little bit of a step, and you'll learn the timing quicker eventually. Then you'll learn to memorize what stance gets you where and what you do from that point. So that pretty much summarizes Lei's whole moveset. A bunch of normals with various stance transitions. The 5-gate form, which is the basis of all his stances. The other stances like Drunken Master, Phoenix Illusion. The variations of grounded states. He has the 4 normal laying on the ground, as well as 4 that are unique to him, and these unique little rush combos, which kind of no one else has. So that's the bulk of Lei. The only thing remaining to talk about is specific stance transitions.